Oh, right. How YouTube changed my life with less than 100 subscribers. I don't know if you've seen that title going around. It was trending maybe a month or two ago. And honestly, I thought it was a little bit hyperbolic. So I kind of ignored it and just I didn't plan on making a video like that or using the title ever. And then I saw a couple new videos pop up on my browser. With the same title, and they're more recent. And it just got me to thinking, has YouTube changed my life? And it has. Um, and I just wanted to share how and the results that I've had, and hopefully maybe inspire somebody to, if you're on your weight loss or fitness journey, to to follow along and maybe utilize YouTube or some other tool like it to help you as well. So the way that I was able to use YouTube is, oh, I'm sorry, getting distracted here. The way I was able to use YouTube to help me with my weight loss journey, or how it's helped me change my life, is kind of two things happened at the same time. The first one was that I knew I needed to lose weight. I needed to get in shape. I'm watching my parents age. I'm watching decades of not being good stewards of their own health come to haunt them in their latter years, and I don't want that for myself. And just the self-realization that I am overweight and I need to get that fixed for a variety of reasons, but my health and just enjoying a long healthy lifestyle is a goal of mine. And I've also been interested in starting a YouTube channel. So my idea was, where I've struggled in the past with weight loss is with the sustainability. I could start, I maybe make it 30 days with either a diet or some kind of workout plan. And then something, life would happen and it would just like fall off. And one of the things that occurred to me is my wife, Jessie, used to talk about when she very first joined the Army. She didn't really know a whole lot about the Army when she first joined. I think she was like 20 years old, 20, 21. But one of the things that she thought was cool was that she would get paid to work out. And I think back to my life when I was a young Army officer, and I realized, like, fitness was obviously part of the profession. So it wasn't really something I thought about. It was just something that we did every day. And that just got the wheels turning a little bit. And I thought, well, what if I use YouTube as kind of an accountability tool for myself, and help myself create a healthy, sustainable lifestyle? And so what I came up with was, I'm gonna use this simple three-step process that I believe should work for most people. And I'm going to prove it to myself, and I'm going to prove it to anyone who wants to watch that it can work. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to post a video a week minimum of my just my progress. So that's what I've been doing, and that honestly has netted me some pretty significant results myself. And my thought process was, I want the channel to be successful because YouTube was a goal, but the other part of it was that while I wanted it to be successful, I also realized if nobody was really going to show up and pay attention, or even watch or be interested, at the end of the year, at least I would have lost weight and hopefully got back in shape and be on track. And I think that is happening. This is my week 18 update, and I feel like I'm well, into a new habit, just a new way of living, not necessarily a diet, not necessarily a workout program, but just a way of living. And part of that has just been me being able to stay accountable to myself by posting these weekly updates, which I'll get to in a second. But here's some of my real results. The first one is I lost more than 20 pounds. And you can see on the thumbnail, if you took a look at that before you clicked on this, that there's the before picture of me and then the after picture of me, the picture that's current, that's more current. So, that in and of itself was huge. Secondly, I a couple probably about a month into this, I had my annual physical, and during my annual physical, I got my labs drawn, and I had perfect lab results. We're talking like glucose normal range, liver enzymes normal range, kidney function normal range, cholesterol normal range. All of that was excellent as well. So um, I'm happy with that. And prior to that, I'll be honest, even though I'm an ER nurse and I know better, I'm also a 55-year-old man, and I was doing the old, whatever, I'll get my physical exam next year. And I literally hadn't had my labs drawn in since 2019. So it had been a while. My doctor was like, "Hey, dude, you got to get on this." So I did, and I'm happy with those results. The other thing is, if you look back to maybe, I don't know, some second, third video that I ever did, I had a complaint about my foot hurting. I was obviously walking more, and I'll talk about the process that I use here in a minute. But I was walking more, and my left foot was hurting, and I thought I had plantar fasciitis. I'm at the doctor's office during that physical that I just mentioned, and he kind of asked me some questions. I guess I didn't have the cardinal symptom of plantar fasciitis, which I never had before. I was associated with foot pain, and what he thought it was arthritis. And I thought, good grief, man, I'm 55 years old and I have arthritis in my foot already. This is not gonna go too well. Well, here I am 18 weeks later, 20 plus pounds lighter, and my foot doesn't hurt at all. I never went to get the x-ray that he scheduled before. I never followed up. I just feel better with that. And then the last thing is, again, good job, ER nurse. I'm on blood pressure medication. So when you look at that picture of me 20 plus pounds heavier, and that picture honestly is maybe 30 plus pounds heavier. My blood pressure in that time frame was, the last one that I remember, which prompted me to go to the doctor, was 177 over 110. And that was kind of embarrassing. The nurse practitioner who took it, I was doing like a work physical when I got that. And she looked at me and she was like, "How long has your blood pressure been like this?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm working on lifestyle changes." And she said, "Lifestyle changes at 177 over 110?" And she knows I'm a nurse. And so that's a little embarrassing. But so I promised her that I would schedule an appointment with my family physician, which I did promptly, and then was put on blood pressure medication. So I was just discussing with my wife tonight before going live here. I was like, I really need to start monitoring my blood pressure again because I've lost so much weight. I need to see if I can either start reducing that blood pressure med or come off of it altogether, which would be my ultimate goal. And my blood pressure prior to doing this video was 104 over 61, which probably explained why I got a little bit lightheaded when I stood up. So I'm in the right direction, but I need to track it now so that I can talk to my doctor about switching. So real results. So let's get into my week 18 update here. So the 3-step process that I'm using, step 1 is to move more. My goal is to move a minimum of 10,000 steps per day. And in this week 18, I was able to do that every day but one. My average came out to be 12,743. And again, the reason why I do more than 10,000 is for those days when I only get to 5,300. That particular day, it was a long drive day on our way to Cape Hatteras for a week's vacation. So it's a good example of I should have planned better. If you know that you're going to be in the car for a long period of time, maybe get up a little bit earlier and get some steps in, because my thought process was I'll get them when I get to our destination. We got there a little bit later. I was too tired. It didn't happen. So just do more when you can. That would be my advice there. So that is the week 18 for move more. My second step is eat better. I don't necessarily follow a diet plan. That has always failed me in the past. I can stick with it for a little bit of time, but I always end up falling off the wagon. And so my thought process is, just from what I know from nursing and nutrition, like, just do better than what you normally do. And that's what I've been trying to do. And I'd say I've been successful with it. If you're new, I show my weekly meal planner with every weekly update, just as an accountability for myself, forces me to write it down and keep track so I can always see what I'm taking in. And also perhaps give you some ideas on meal prep stuff, because I know sometimes just coming up with something to eat can be a challenge in and of itself. And my only thing I guess I'd point out about this particular week is, I believe it's this Friday and Saturday, we're actually on the road during this week, and we planned ahead. Previously, I've done a video on losing weight on vacation and it didn't go well. So, but this time we planned ahead and I think we're doing better. And if you stay tuned for next week's update, you'll see that, spoiler alert, I did do better this time. So happy with those results. Next up is lift heavy things. So if you have been tracking previous to tonight's video, I have been challenged or struggling with the strength training part of this. I think strength training is so important as we age, because you're going to lose muscle mass as much as up to 8% of your total muscle mass every decade. and it can start as early as in your 30s. So it's like a big deal, and it's going to lead to mobility issues, potential falls, and other things as we age. So you need to get on top of this as soon as possible. You don't necessarily need a gym membership, or we're not necessarily talking about lifting heavy weights. You don't have to do that. Simple body weight exercises like push-ups, lunges, squats, those kinds of things can suffice for most people, unless your goal is, more strength training. So I'm kind of doing two things here simultaneously. One is I'm doing a full body circuit. That's just something that I found that has worked for me. This one, I only do one iteration of it because I'm just getting back into it after probably 5+ weeks of failing to do any strength training. And then I'm doing this bicep arm circuit, which I didn't really list out what I'm doing. I'll save that for another video in my arm challenge. And what I'm doing here is I did a video a couple weeks ago about some of my goals. Now that I've kind of hit around where my weight loss goal needed to be, now I'm kind of transitioning to strength and some cardiovascular fitness. And I kind of listed out, I don't know, there's like 10 goals, 10 different goals, various goals. And one of my goals is, which is a complete vanity goal, is to have bigger arms. I'm a relatively tall, thinner guy in general when I'm not overweight. And I've never had huge arms, and I've always wanted to have bigger arms. And so you could say, well, why are you focusing on that? That makes no sense from a strength training standpoint. And I mean, I agree with that. It's not complex muscle movements. It's not total body fitness by any stretch of the imagination. But what I'm doing is this, at least for me, the psychological aspect of fitness is just getting myself back into the habit. And one of the ways I can do that is to do what I've known has worked before. And what's worked before is doing this challenge on YouTube. So I'm having a problem with strength training. Why not do a strength training challenge for YouTube? So this is the beginning week of me trying to see if I can make my arms bigger in 30 days. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not increasing protein. I'm not taking supplements. And I'm not like lifting huge amounts of heavy weight. And I'm not doing anything that like a person couldn't do at their home with just a couple of dumbbells. Will it get results? I don't know. We'll find out. If they're decent results, I'll probably do a video about it. If there's no results or they're negligible, I'll mention it at the end and I'll move on to the next thing. But it just helps me psychologically keep my mind in the game. And I have a goal now where I have to do at least 3 strength training workouts per week. No questions asked, because it's part of what I'm doing for YouTube. So it's kind of like my wife's idea of getting paid to work out. So hopefully something like that might help you too. If you need some help getting over the hump with one of any of these things, is just create a challenge for yourself to get you jump started. So finally, for week 18, since we were on the road, I didn't have a scale, so I didn't weigh in. But I was able to weigh in when we got back from Cape Hatteras. So in next week's episode, I'll give you my weight. But again, I went into the week weighing 190, which was basically my goal weight when I started my weight loss challenge, or at least my initial goal weight. So that's a scoop there. I wanted to just quickly thank all the new subscribers that we have. It's kind of strange because I posted a video, I think, let's see, what is today? We're at today's Tuesday. So this is like 3 days ago. So Sunday, Saturday, something like that. I did a live video, and the topic was the ideal body weight for over 40. And at least for Jesse and I, and our trying to do this with YouTube, I have never had a single video do as well as this one's doing. Last I looked before I got on this, it was like over 800 views, 77 watch time hours. I don't know, like 25 comments or something like that. It's crazy. 12 new subscribers. So thank you and hello. And I think we have some good content teed up. I'll talk about it in a second. But it's a little crazy seeing that result in that success, and then trying to squeeze this video in real quick because I have to go to work tomorrow, and I'm doing it late because our 11-year-old YouTuber was live streaming for the last 2 hours. So I couldn't get on the internet. So anyway, that's where I'm at. But I hope you'll stick around and see what we do. From the comments that I got on this last video, it's encouraging to see people. They have great ideas. Some of them I'll probably try to implement. A lot of good feedback. One size doesn't obviously fit all. So if you're watching and you check out the comments, there's a lot of good comments, particularly in the last video. So just kind of moving forward as a reminder. So this is the first video of 3 this week. And Jesse and our plan is to collectively do 3 videos per week. Tuesdays will be my weight loss update, or my fitness challenge update. Jesse's going to hop in on some of these too over time to share her weight loss results, so that if there's any ladies in the audience who are following along, that might be a benefit to them. And then on Thursdays we'll do like a just a general health topical type thing. We have one that we're going to working on right now about knee injuries and arthritis and whatnot that we'll have coming up. And then the Saturday, we'll do one on Saturdays as well. And the Saturdays are going to be dedicated to people over 40, over 50, starting YouTube channels, because we're 2 introverts. We're not credentialed fitness experts, and we're certainly not videographers or filmmakers, but we're giving it a shot. And we'll talk about kind of our YouTube journey and our monetization strategy and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in that, stick around for that. So anyway, I appreciate all the new subscribers. If any of what I've just said sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing to the channel or give this a like. That always helps. And until next week, just remember to move more, eat better, lift heavy things. Thanks for watching. Oh, for crying out loud. Welcome to the blooper section. Okay, here we go.